let me keep going. And if the sound is a problem, let me know and I will try to fix it. Okay. And we'll go 5 minutes over to make sure that we make the best use of our time. Okay, so today we're going over check out, which is our phrasal verb. Okay, perfect. It sounds like we're in good shape. Thank you so much. Okay, everyone, sorry about that. We'll make sure to get it right next time. So first, I want to give a reminder that if you are a new member and you haven't joined the Cacao Talk chats, we do have 2 different Cacao Talk chats or channels. So one is just a general open talk where you can chat freely and practice your English. And then the second one is the announcements room, and I post our word of the day there every day. That's not a holiday or a weekend. And then I also post the announcements and like the direct link to this video. So we do have several members at least who are not in the chats. It's totally optional, but if you do want to join, you can find the information on how to join in the membership tab of YouTube. It's in a couple of different posts there. Okay, so let me just check and make sure the comments that we are good to go. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen, and since we're running behind, let's just jump right into it. Okay, so check out. Check out is our phrasal verb this week, and there's so many meanings, so this one's a really good one. And I will say that following our phrasal verb series will really help you improve your English quickly, because since we've started doing these, I've started paying more attention when I speak English, and we really do use phrasal verbs so often. Okay, so check out. It has, how many meanings do we have? I think there's about 8. Yes, we have 8 meanings. So let me go through each one. I'll explain, we'll get into our comments and then the comics, and then we'll do some shadowing when we get down a little bit further. So number 1, check out, our first meaning is just to check out of your hotel, right? Very easy. It's the same word in Korean. But then we also say check out if you are paying at a store. So let me explain here, because you only say check out if you're shopping, buying something like groceries or items. Like if you go to Daiso, you check out. But at a restaurant, we don't say check out, right? So it doesn't mean just paying for anything. It's only when you're buying stuff at a store or online, you say check out. But if you're like at a restaurant buying food or at a cafe, we actually don't say check out. It's like we only use it when you're actually taking stuff with you. Okay. Next is, so there's several meanings that are similar for checkout, which is sort of to observe something or to look at something. And so for this first one is just kind of a general observing something if you're interested, like, oh, check this out. I want to check that out. It means I just want to observe it. I want to look at it. So let's check out that new cafe near the park. Very basic. And then switching gears totally, we also use it for checking out books. Now, when we did the worksheet, I thought really hard of other situations where we use the same checkout, and it's almost always for something where you get to borrow something for a while and then bring it back. And there's not many situations where you do that except at a library, right? The most common use of this checkout is for sure books at a library. But there are other uncommon situations, like if you're at work and let's say there is some type of equipment, like a machine that everyone shares, and if you take it, you have to like write your name down and bring it back, then in that situation, you can use the same checkout meaning. Okay. So next, she checked out the cute guy when he walked by. So if checking out a person, it pretty much always means looking at them like they're attractive. And it's kind of a funny word because, normally you notice if someone's like checking someone out, right? They're looking with too much interest. And so if a person is the object of check out, it's almost always this meaning. If he was checking her out, it means he, thought she was pretty and he was looking at her too much. Okay. Can you check out what's going on outside? So this next meaning, it's actually similar to the meaning of just observing something, but it's a little different because it kind of means to investigate something, like figure out what's going on. Like, can you check out what's going on outside? Let's say we hear a strange noise outside and someone says, can you check out what's going on outside? Go look, go investigate, see what's going on. Similar here, right? The fridge is making a strange noise. The fridge, that's the refrigerator. I'll check out the problem. Next meaning, number 7, 2 more. So there's so many. And the context matters a lot because as a native speaker, hearing these in context, I usually understand. So we'll get through them soon. So number 7, to check out also means to just lose focus, right? Or to not be engaged. So I totally checked out during the meeting. It's like to check out, it kind of means like you're not here. Like your mind isn't here. So I checked out. I went off my mind is over there. I'm checked out. And we also say it doesn't always have to be right now. It could be like for a long period of time, right? So if somebody checks out of their relationship, it's sort of like their mind and their heart isn't there. It's somewhere else. Like they're in the relationship still, but they don't really want to be there. They're just checked out. They're not focused. So it's similar meaning used in several situations. Okay. And then finally, this meaning is interesting and it's a little less common, but still common enough to learn, is if something checks out, it's like it makes sense. It's like you confirmed it. Like, let's say someone's telling you a story and you're not sure if what they're saying is true. And so you go and you find evidence. You confirm, wow, okay, what they said really is true. Then their story checks out. So that's a lot of different meanings. And let's jump right ahead to our comic. And then let me check on everyone and make sure that we are all good to go. Perfect. And as usual, if any of these are confusing, you can ask questions as we go through. Okay. So, he checked out of his hotel after his work trip. Easy definition. If you're checking out of a hotel in English, you can just say, hi, checking out. So easy. And then she says, was everything all right with your stay? That's actually a very, very common thing to hear in English when you're checking out of a hotel. He checked out of his hotel after his work trip. He had some free time, so when he passed by a library, he decided to check it out. So he checked out of the hotel and then he sees the library and says, oh, I want to check that out. He wants to look at it. He wants to see what it is. Oh, let's check that out. Check out the library. He couldn't help checking out the cute librarian, right? So the librarian is the person who works at the library, which is this lady. And so he was checking her out. And what does it mean when you check out a person? It means he thinks she's attractive or pretty, so he's looking at her. He couldn't help checking out the cute librarian, and he really wanted to talk to her. So he says, "Wow, she's stunning. I hope she doesn't notice me checking her out." Because that would be embarrassing, right? If someone notices someone checking the person out, it's a little embarrassing because it's obvious. So he decided to check out a book, but he was too nervous to ask her out. So he's checking the book out of the library. And we always say at the library, if you borrow a book, we always say check out. "I'd like to check out this book, please," he tells her. And then she thinks to herself, smiling, he was totally checking me out. She noticed him checking her out. He was looking at her. So we just used check out in several ways. So hopefully you got these. If you have questions, let me know. And let's go on to our next comic. So we have the Korean translations here. And we have several more meanings of check out that we didn't cover in the first comic. So before presenting her prototype, it stopped working. She checked out the issue and noticed some parts needed to be replaced. So she had a problem, right? A problem with her machine here. And so she needed to check out the problem to investigate and find what was going wrong. So she says, "Let me check out what's wrong." So then she rushed to the hardware store. She grabbed the parts she needed and she checked out. So what's she doing here at the store? She's checking out. She's paying and getting her stuff. "I'm ready to check out, please." And you can always say that at a store to an employee when you want to check out. "I'm ready to check out." Once she installed the new parts, her prototype started working. Her suspicion checked out. It was the issue all along. So what she thought was wrong, she was correct. So it checked out. Like she had a guess, she verified it with evidence, and she was correct. So it checked out. That's the more difficult definition, I would say, of all of these. And she just says, "Yep, checks out." And that's exactly what we say. If something is verified by evidence, we can be like, "Yeah, that checks out." But in front of the panel, she got so nervous that she completely checked out and ruined her presentation. So she checked out during the presentation. And what does that mean? She lost focus. Her mind went somewhere else because she was so nervous. So she says, "I apologize. I checked out for a moment and lost my train of thought." So that's actually a very common phrase. We say, "I lost my train of thought." That means you're thinking and you're thinking and you're talking, and then all of a sudden your thought just goes away, right? Like you were thinking and talking and then you just kind of forgot, you checked out, blanked out. So that's what happened here. So did we get all the meanings? Those are all of our 8 meanings of checked out. All right, so let's go down and let's do some shadowing with our examples. So this is a big one and we're a little short on time. So if you have questions about any of the answers, let me know. And I think I'm going to go to our next segment here. So we have the answer key here where you basically just match the Korean definition to the sentences. So if you have questions, I will ask them, but let's do some shadowing with our translated sentences because I think that's the better way to practice right now. Okay, so hopefully this is big enough. I'm going to speak and then repeat after me. And if we get to a sentence that maybe seems a little difficult, then I'll explain. Okay, let's do shadowing. I'll check out online so we can get the discount code. A little faster, repeat after me. I'll check out online so we can get the discount code. Next, please repeat. I checked out a few options for dinner and there's a great sushi place nearby. It's a long one, so let's do it again. I checked out a few options for dinner and there's a great sushi place nearby. So I checked out a few dinner options. They looked at several places to choose a restaurant. They checked out a few options for dinner. It's a very native, natural sentence. Okay, next, repeat after me. I forgot my student ID, so I couldn't check out any books today. So which meaning is this? They couldn't check out books from the library. Let's try to say it really fast. Repeat after me. I forgot my student ID, so I couldn't check out any books today. Perfect. Next one. I started checking out halfway through the presentation. It was just too long. I started checking out halfway through the presentation. It was just too long. Next, the numbers in the report checked out after we ran the final test. One more time. The numbers in the report checked out after we ran the final test. So the numbers checked out. It means they were correct. We verified them. The numbers checked out. Okay, we have an easy one, so let's do it fast. Please repeat after me. It looked like she was checking me out. It looked like she was checking me out. Next, and we've done this meaning already, so we'll practice it again. She checked out during the lecture. She checked out during the lecture. So she checked out. She wasn't there, right? Her mind was somewhere else. And last one, I'll check out the problem and fix it. One more time. I'll check out the problem and fix it. So how did we do a checkout, everybody? Do you feel like you know all the meanings? If you hear them, will you understand them in English? What makes the phrasal verbs difficult is you really have to understand the full context to know the meaning. But with all these examples, you should start getting familiar with it. And the more you practice the phrasal verbs, the more you'll start hearing them in English because they really are so common. Okay, let's make sure we don't have any questions here. Perfect. All right. So let's go over to our words of the day. Let me zoom in a little bit more here. Perfect. So the first one is actually a phrase, and it's just checking in. And this is really, really common because it's a polite way to just tell someone that you're getting a status. So you could use it at work. If someone's being slow and let's say they didn't respond to a message or an email, or they're waiting for you to do something, it's easy to just say, hey, just checking in. It's kind of soft and polite, so you're not bothering them too much. We also use it if somebody is having a difficult time and you just want to see how they're doing and show care. You can say, hey, just checking in, how are you? So I use this so often if let's say a friend is sick or I haven't heard from them in a while, you can just say, hey, just checking in, how are you? And usually people really appreciate this and respond positively. So let's shadow some of these sentences to practice. So let's do the first ones in gray here. Repeat after me. Just checking in to see if you received my email. Just checking in to see if you received my email. Yeah, so in this situation, the person hasn't responded to the email, so they're kind of, nudging them a little bit. We also say to nudge someone. It's like, hey, did you see this? It's like a, hey, hurry up, but in a polite way. Next, repeat after me. Hey, just checking in. How have you been? Hey, just checking in. How have you been? It's a very kind thing to say if you know someone's having a difficult time. Last one, repeat. I heard you were sick. Just checking in on you. I heard you were sick. Just checking in on you. Okay, next is groggy. So this is the perfect word for in the morning if you feel a little bit tired. You can just say, I feel groggy. Or maybe you're just a little bit sick or you didn't sleep well. You can say it anytime when you just feel tired and not fully energetic, right? You're not your full self because you're tired. Groggy is the perfect word for that situation. So let's practice some sentences. Please repeat. I always feel groggy if I take a long nap. I always feel groggy if I take a long nap. Next, this cold medicine makes me feel so groggy. This cold medicine makes me feel so groggy. That's another common use. If there's a medicine that makes you feel tired, we usually say it makes me feel groggy. We usually don't say tired, we say groggy. All right, and last one. I stayed up all night, so I'm feeling a little groggy. I stayed up all night, so I'm feeling a little groggy. Okay. Next is clumsy. And all these words we're going through are pretty common, so I'm excited to be teaching these. And clumsy is just when somebody they drop things a lot, they fall a lot. Somebody like that would be clumsy, but anyone can be clumsy sometimes. But you can also describe a person as clumsy in general. So let's do some sentences. Repeat after me. I spilled my coffee again. I'm so clumsy today. Seriously. I spilled my coffee again. I'm so clumsy today. Seriously. So this person is a little frustrated with themselves because they keep spilling their coffee. Okay, next. This vacuum is way too heavy and clumsy to carry up the stairs. This vacuum is way too heavy and clumsy to carry up the stairs. And then last one. It was a bit of a clumsy way to ask her out, but at least he tried, right? And this one's long too, so try to get all the words. It was a bit of a clumsy way to ask her out, but at least he tried, right? So in this situation, a man asked a woman out, and the way he did it maybe felt a little, silly, not smooth. So it was a little clumsy, but he tried. Okay. And then we have our last one is picky. Okay, so picky is, we use it for a few things, but it basically means that somebody is kind of a little bit difficult, like they have a lot of preferences and things they don't like. And we use it for food often. It's the most common situation. So people say they're a picky eater. It's a very common phrase. Are you a picky eater? It means, are there a lot of foods you don't like? And some people say, I'm not a picky eater. It means I eat everything. But we also say picky in other situations. So let's go through some examples here. Because, like if you're working with someone and they're the type of person where they have a lot of corrections, like they're always telling you to change something or to correct something, they're picky, right? They have a lot of opinions about small things, how they should be. Okay. So let's shadow our 3 sentences. Repeat after me. Honestly, I'm not picky. Let's just go wherever is closest. Honestly, I'm not picky. Let's just go wherever is closest. Why are you being so picky? It's just a t-shirt. Just buy it. Why are you being so picky? It's just a t-shirt. Just buy it. And then finally, my kid is such a picky eater. He's basically only survives on chicken nuggets. My kid is such a picky eater. He basically only survives on chicken nuggets. So this sentence is also common where if someone says they survive on something, right? Survive means that's like how they live, like they're eating to survive. So it's a strong word, but they're exaggerating by saying, oh, I basically survive on this. It means they eat so much of this food. It's just kind of a funny, cute phrase. So this person's child survives on chicken nuggets. That means that they eat it so much, it's like their main food, basically. So, okay, everybody. Well, those are our words of the day. So we got through all of our material. I want to sincerely apologize for the sound issues at the beginning. I know we had that before and said we would fix it, and then it happened again. So thanks for bearing with us. We will definitely fix it for next time. In the meantime, thank you all so much for joining. Let me make sure that we don't have any questions. I don't think so. So thanks those who joined. This will be posted as usual on the YouTube membership tab, and I'll see you next week. Have a good night, everyone.